Welcome to the Central Portal. This video provides a quick tour for Central users. For more information on using the data room, setting permissions, and customizing your notifications, please check out our other videos. The Central Portal is more than just an interface for administrators. It is now an additional way for all users to view their projects and collaborate with their team, as well as manage their projects, data, and user permissions. Let's take a look. During the Central setup process, you will receive the host address for your Central Portal. In either Google Chrome or Firefox, access the Central Portal by opening your host address. Sign in with your Sequent ID. Once signed in, the projects and menu shown will depend on your user permission. You can see your permission here in the top right corner under your name. Users are able to see the projects that they have created and uploaded, or projects that they have been given access to. If you have admin permissions, you will be able to have full and unrestricted access to the portal. You will be able to see all projects on the server, change project permissions and owners, create and update user entitlements and integrations, view all events, and maintain instances. We will continue this tour as administrators. Here on the projects page, we can see all projects on the server. Inactive projects are also shown but are grayed out with a small label. The projects are listed in alphabetic order, and we can view them as tiles or toggle to a list here. This view also shows your project permissions. There's also search functionality here. If we click on one of the projects, we are taken to the Project Overview tab where we can see a brief description of the project, its revisions, and recent events pertaining to this project. If we navigate over to the Users tab, we can see and modify the users that currently have access to this project, change their permissions, and/or grant additional people access. Navigating over to the Files tab, we can see files in the data room for this project, upload additional files, and see file histories that exist on the server. The History tab shows the history of your project in graph form. This graph is like the family tree of all your project revisions. By clicking on a revision, we can see more information such as the stage, size, and notes that were written about the publish. From here, we can also open revisions in 3D to explore the model and actively participate in the conversation as it unfolds. Finally, navigating over to the Events tab, we can see a complete list of all events pertaining to this project. The Users page can be used to add users and manage access to each of the projects on the server. At a glance, we can see the number of current and available users and connectors as per our license agreement here. We can add new users using this button here. Type or cut and paste an email address or a list of email addresses here, separated by commas. When we add multiple users at the same time, they will be given the same permissions. Below, we can set the user permissions and connector statuses. Click Add Users. Then we can add project permissions for the new users over here on the right. Start typing the project name or click to see all of the projects in the drop-down menu. Then I can set the project permissions. There are 3 levels of permissions for each project: Viewer, Editor, and Owner. These individuals are all Leapfrog users and will be actively modeling in these projects, so I'll assign editor level permissions. Then I'll click on Assign Projects. To later edit an individual's access and entitlements, click on their name back on the main users page. Over to the integrations page, this is where you can manage central integrations. We currently have an integration with the IMDEX Hub. This integration enables downhole data collected at the rig by Reflex Tools and stored in the IMDEX Hub to be viewed alongside geological data in Central. If your internet connection is sufficient, live data is available, so you can track your drilling as it's happening. Here we have an integration set up and a couple of projects using it. We can edit the name and API key for this integration, as well as add or remove projects. The Events tab records all activity on the server. We can set how many events per page and step through the pages here, export the events as CSV files here, or use the filters to see a subset of events. The Maintenance page is where you set the project stages and their colors, clean up unused project branches, and remove incomplete publishing events. I can add a new stage here. I will change the default order number to place it after peer review and call it Ready for Edits. Then I will choose a color. I can pick from the palette or assign RGB values. Then click Add Stage. The Unused Branches tab has the option to delete all branches, and the Incomplete Events tab has a similar Delete All Events option if there are incomplete publishing events. That concludes our introductory tour of the Central Portal. Thanks for joining us.